Yeah, unfortunately, Alonso has been called up for the national duty, but that's also a privilege to be there. We just have to deal with the fact that he's not with us, and Munsaf has been working really hard from day one to get his chance as a number 9. It's not an easy battle to be in competition with Alonso, so this is his opportunity to show where he's at the moment. We have all the confidence in him to have a good striker up front. Obviously, his profile is just a little bit different than Alonso's, but playing-wise, we won't adjust anything. It's just making sure that we understand his qualities in order to be successful with Munsaf up front instead of Alonso.
Thank you. On to the Zoom, we'll go with Alex.
Hi, Pascal. This is Alex only from AM New York. How's it going?
Hi, Alex.
The team has won back-to-back games and has built a strong amount of confidence. What has impressed you so far about their performances in those 2 matches? Thanks.
That's a good question. Creating a more consistency throughout the games. This is a topic that we've addressed from the start. In order to be consistent, we've created a program where we build our confidence, we develop our play style, we get our physical fitness to a higher level, and over the past few weeks, months, you've seen them grow, and then it's always good to see the consistency transferred to the pitch on a Saturday night. So hopefully we can continue this and be consistent.
George?
Hey, what's up, Coach? George from the Exchange FC. I want to talk a little bit about Shore, one of the younger guys on the team, who actually had a fantastic game. Can you just talk a little bit about what you've seen with him and him kind of being one of the younger guys, but still looking like a great baller, somebody who's been there for a while?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Johnny's doing quite well. It doesn't come as a surprise to me. I've mentioned this a few times already. During pre-season, Johnny presented himself as a serious candidate to play minutes in the first team, and he earned his minutes in the first team. So hopefully he can continue this and develop himself to become a regular and a steady player for our first team, because I agree he adds good quality to the team, and for such a young player in this moment to be on the pitch like he's been in the previous games is a big compliment to him and the rest of the team.
Michael?
Pascal, it's Mike Ander from Blue City Radio. Thanks for the time.
Hi, Mike.
The MLS roster gives you a lot of redundancy in certain positions, but obviously when you look at the injuries, and we were just talking about Alonso's international call-up, where do you think you have the most deficiency, or most, how many pieces do you think you're missing before you feel you have a full, complete roster?
Well, we have a complete roster. Obviously, we have our attention on the market still because the window is open, but we have a complete roster. I'm perfectly fine with the guys that we have at the moment, and that's where I'm going to focus on until things change. But I'm emphasizing the fact that I'm really, really pleased with the current roster, so no worries from my side.
Scott, Sean? Sean? All right, we'll come back to you, Sean. Chris, go ahead.
Hey, Pascal. Chris Campbell from the outfield.
Hi, Chris.
Keaton Parks has been on to a strong start to the year, and he's mentioned this year so far he's been playing a little bit deeper than he usually has in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Has that been, playing him there, has that been more of the really kind of the other midfield options that you have, or is there something in particular in his game that you decided that maybe he should be a little bit deeper in the midfield than he has been playing in several years past? Thanks.
Well, the thing is, we've added this. We're trying to add this to his game. Obviously, Keaton is a very good player, a very important player for the way we want to play. So we're looking for a good balance in order to have our quality midfield players on the ball when needed. So there will be moments that he has to come down and play a little deeper. But there is also quite a few moments where he can play more closer to the strikers or to the attackers, but it's more like we're trying to add more things to his game in order to be more included and even more important for the team than he was before.
Andrew?
Hi, Andrew Lee with Hudson River Blue. You've had 2 tough road games already this season in Miami and LA. Facing another one this weekend. Winning on the road in MLS has been tough for a long time. What have you seen from the team's performances, specifically while playing on the road, that you maybe focused on wanting to improve now going into Columbus? Just from the first couple games, and just even you just experiencing like being a road team in MLS for the first couple times.
Interesting question. Also, I'm fully aware of their away results from the previous season. That's why also one of the things that we talked about in the beginning of the season was being more consistent overall in the season, and especially looking at the away games. There's a big challenge ahead for us. We did an okay job in the previous 2 games on the road. Miami, unfortunately, we dropped 2 points where we should have gotten 3. LA should have been a draw, but you get the loss because you switch off for just one moment. And that's how tough it can be. But that's not particularly on the road. That's every game in the MLS, because you need to get comfortable with the result in order to lean back a little bit more in a game. And these games were tight, so there was no comfort there yet, which should have kept us on our toes. So going into this away game, the challenge will be the same, but we go into a home game or an away game with the same attitude. That's trying to win that game and don't look at the fact that you're on the road or playing at home. We just want to dictate our games and make sure we get the results that we're looking for.
Michael?
Well, this is Michael with Pro Soccer. After the game on Saturday, you mentioned that you were happy with the result, but not really with exactly how that they played. The team played kind of sloppily. Mm-hmm. How do you go about this week correcting that mistake? What have you guys been doing and training to sort of correct that and sort of move into Columbus and play more clinical on the ball?
Yeah, I wasn't satisfied with the game. I was satisfied with the result. That's correct. But like in every training session, in every training week, you try to improve. So we're not just looking at the previous game. We're trying to improve our play style and our strategies overall. So we have our principles, and that is our leading factor going into every session. And there are moments in a week that we look at the opponent and we look back at the previous game in order to address a few things that we need to get better in. But nothing in specific in considering this game, because as I said, in the program itself, it's the development of play which stands out.
George?
Coach, I've seen you out doing a lot of events with the fans. You finally had your 2 first home games. Can you talk a little bit about the reception from the fans and finally being in front of the home crowd and, kind of getting out of the way and now just being in the mix with everybody? It seems like you're out in the streets with the people, so you become one of the fans per se.
Well, I was very curious, of course, to see how the reception would be. Being on the road, first in preseason and then 2 away games going into the MLS season, we had to wait for that moment. So seeing them in the home games was something I was looking forward to. But mainly I was looking forward to introducing the team and expose the players, if you will, in the way we're trying to play and go into games now and get the look and feel from the fans. That is something I was looking forward to mostly. And the reception, to be fair, in the home games has been fantastic. The energy was on the pitch, the energy was in the stadium, and that's how it should be, because that's the chemistry that should be there in every game, and especially at home.
Christian?
Hi, Coach. Wilfred Nancy, your opposite number, has a very clear and defined style of play and how he likes Columbus to operate. What challenge do you envisage your players facing this weekend when they take on Columbus?
Also a very interesting question. From our research in going into Columbus and how they play, it's going to be a very interesting challenge to see if we can match each other's intensity of the game. I've seen all the games played by Columbus so far, and it's a very, very impressive team with good players and a good play style if I look at it from my perspective. But the intensity is something I'm looking forward to, because we've brought up our own intensity to a certain level and still trying to raise the bar. But playing against a team like Columbus is a matchup if you take intensity as a starting point.